Got James Casbolt back in Zena for a catch-up. Really good news here. He got his CDs in and he's going to sign a few now.
Hi, Bob.
And what's your CD called, James?
It's Komander. The album's called The Hand, but it's also Mixtape Revenge with DJ Young C's input.
Yeah, so we've got these CDs. They're going to be a limited edition. They're all going to be signed. And also, we've got some more merch. Here you go, James. You got a Komander cap. Look at that. What can you tell us again about Komander?
Well, I suppose we were just talking about the music, how it's been invented on the way up here. Do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah, talk about that.
So, it's a bit strange, really. When I'm sleeping, I'm just about to wake up and I hear like a choir singing outside. And, or in the dream, I'm lying there and there's a radio on and a song starts playing and I think that's a really good song. I wonder who sung that. Then when I wake up, I realise the song doesn't exist. It's the first time I heard it, so I sing it into a dictaphone. And I have to record it straight away, or else if I leave it now, I completely forget the melody, and I can't remember it again. So the point is, I've written about 40 original songs with the melodies through that process, but they haven't been recorded yet.
Right, but it's almost like it comes in a dreamlike state.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's like the melodies, the chorus, the hooks.
Does that come before the lyrics?
Yeah, the melodies, and then once I've got the kind of bare bones of the track, then I can start writing the verses when I'm awake.
Okay, and do you want to just sign a few, James?
Yeah. I'll put the little symbol on.
And the symbol is?
Probably Saturn.
Saturn. These are going to be collector's items in the years to come.
That's 4.
D5.
D5, okay. 5.
There we go. And that's the Komander cover. And they're all in these plastic cases. We've got the title down the spine, both ends, and the song sheet on the back. So that's now done. Next thing is to get your book published. Do you just want to tell us about that briefly?
What can I say about that? I mean, I've been writing it for years.
You're writing it in prison, weren't you?
Yeah, I wrote it in prison, and but it's just been sitting there collecting dust. Really, I've not been doing anything with it. So it's one more chapter I'll send to you, and then that's probably.
I've been reading it as you've been sending the chapters in. I've got to say it's very impressive. A lot of real information in there about things that obviously happening now are going to happen in the future. And of course, it ties in nicely with the lyrics on the songs.
Yeah, Escape from Tartarus.
What's the significance of the title?
Well, a lot of it's set underground in San Antonio, literally through some of the above ground ports, and then going onto the underground Terror Drive, it's called. Yeah. It goes to the underground dams.
And that's not a military base?
Yeah.
Under San Antonio? Probably
half the book's above ground and the other half's underground. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one chapter about a shuttle that can travel quickly.
Yeah.
Through, and also stuff about General Petraeus, who I think was a CIA man.
Yeah, the head at one stage.
So it's nearing completion.
Yeah.
And I think probably in a few weeks' time we can get that out, and people will be able to get it.
Yeah. It'll come out together with the album, the hand album, and the book.
Yeah,
And then we've got the caps.
that's right. And you've got your Ultraman jacket.
Yeah. The T-shirt.
The T-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah. This is.
Oh, yeah, that's that's incredible. I think that's going to be the image on the front cover, isn't it?
This is the comic book version of the Ultraman.
Right.
The one on the front cover is a bit more.
Yeah.
This is the comic book version.
An Ultraman, is that something like Superman and Batman?
Wow. Not really.
No.
No. How do I even begin? It's explained in the book. I don't know. This is the scalable sort of commercial version of the Ultraman.
Yeah. There's that triangle there. That's probably
that's
got
the
some
symbol.
Right.
And it's also the symbol. Yeah.
Okay. And what's that a symbol of, James?
It's probably a symbol of Saturn.
The planet Saturn.
Yeah. The planet and the rings.
Yeah.
So then I got the MK badge,
Let's have a look.
the political party.
Oh, well, that's a good story, isn't it?
Mebion Kerno.
Maybe I'm kind of... And you were going to go into politics.
It means Sons of Cornwall
Right.
in the Cornwall language. So to explain some of the symbology, it's Ultra MK.
Ah, I wonder what that means.
Or MK Ultra if
Yeah.
you reverse it.
It's a bit coincidence that maybe on Kerno has also got the initials MK, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't really talk too much on the party, apart from to say it's a good party.
It's a good party.
And they stand up for Cornwall.
Right. So it's not really affiliated to any political party.
I can't really say too much on it, but it's not Liberal Democrats or Conservative, it's his own party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have been good if you'd got elected. Would you have started doing things around Cornwall that were going to change it for the better?
Well, do you want to talk about fish?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, that would be a vehicle for the UAP movement, the disclosure movement, really, to bring it up. And when I mentioned fish, I was going to talk about Jake Barber again.
Yeah.
What he's doing with Skywatcher. They've got a machine and they're switching it on and they're calling the UAPs and it's fish falling out of the sky.
What, the UAPs?
Yeah, it's a jellyfish, or multiple jellyfish, and manta rays. Mm-hmm. And they switch the machine on. Their organisation's called Skywatcher.
When you say they're fish, I mean,
Yeah.
are they actual fish or just representations?
They look like fish.
They're like fish.
They got them on camera. They switch the machine on and call them. And they said they're getting 100% summoning every time they switch the machine on. And it's fish. It's a jellyfish and a manta ray.
Who's
And they're falling out the sky.
Where do they fall?
From the outer atmosphere.
And what, people go and retrieve them?
I don't think they're hitting the floor yet. They're falling down and getting close to the ground and then flying off. They're trying to get them to land. But it's, I don't think anybody's making this connection. There's a film called Beyond or From Beyond. It's from like the early 90s. It might even be H.P. Lovecraft, but I could be wrong about that. From Beyond. It's a bit dark, really. It's like a scientist in the film creates this machine and switches it on and summons these NHI aliens from beyond, and they're manta rays that come in.
Just to be clear, NHI, I actually didn't know what that meant when I first saw it, but it's non-human intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's now a kind of recognised term, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the official term. But yeah, in the film, I don't think anybody's made this connection. The scientist at the beginning, he invents this machine, switches it on and summons these things, and they're manta rays.
And what's a manta ray?
It's like a big fish, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
the manta rays.
Yeah.
But through his interaction with them, it's a bit dark. He turns into a monster and needs to eat human brains to survive. And I don't really want to look into it too much because it's a bit disturbing. But,
yeah, that's a bit like the zombie apocalypse, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's like it would be easy to say to Jake Barber and Skywatcher, well, don't play around with it, or you don't know what you're playing around with.
Yeah.
But I've looked at the variables, and I think it would be, I'd say, keep playing with it, because some people might argue that human race needs to hit rock bottom, so certain people, a certain person can emerge. I'm not saying that. That's not my conclusion, but some people might argue that.
Yeah, there's elements of that in your book, Escape from Tartarus, almost like, probing into the nature of the Antichrist. And there's quite a lot of good information about the Jesuits and other organisations and belief systems, going back to Greek mythology.
Yeah, but it's a bit dark, that. Yeah.
But what's the worst that can happen if these fish, the manta rays, if they suddenly start swarming? Do you think they're an alien, hostile race?
I think the jury's out. It's a bit early days. I think Skywatch are trying to get them to land so they can probe into it a bit more.
And Skywatch's, is that
Jake Barber's,
that's Jake Barber.
Organisation. Yeah, they're switching on this machine like for the film From Beyond, and they're summoning them. They're falling from the sky.
And you listening to what Jake Barber's saying? Isn't he talking to Congress?
I think he has, yeah.
And this is part of this disclosure.
Part of the disclosure movement. I don't know if you want to talk about something a bit more lighter, like Operation Blue Suede.
Yeah, talk about what you like, James.
Okay. Operation Blue Suede is where they're re-engineering the ley lines to connect Memphis with St Ives.
Right, because probably one of my favourite tracks on your Komander CD is from St Ives to Memphis.
Not just St Ives, connect Memphis with Zena and Penzance as well. St Ives, Zena and Penzance.
Who's named it Operation Blue Suede?
Usual organisations. But there's more. It's more than just that. More than re-engineering ley lines. It's apparently it's taking the DNA of Elvis and splicing it into Donald Trump and James Casbolt.
Yeah, that's interesting, because Elvis was from Memphis, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And where does Donald Trump come into it?
He looks a bit like Elvis, got the same hair.
Well, they were friends, I think, and yeah, Trump's a very strange character. But, so how are they re-engineering the ley lines?
Vibration and connecting it to satellite and things like that, but it's being done through the music.
Well, through music.
Initially.
Yeah. Do you think that's what was happening when Elvis was doing prescriptive programming? Do you think his songs were prescriptive programming?
Yeah, I would say so. And I don't know, because writing these songs, and I'm hearing them when I'm in dreams. So where is that coming from?
Yeah. Well, of course, Blue Suede was Blue Suede shoes, wasn't it?
Yeah, blue suede. Don't step on my blue suede shoes.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that these beats come to you in the middle of the night. It's almost like you're channeling this music, and then of course the information comes through at the same time.
I would say that's part of Operation Blue Suede.
Is that a kind of an operation that anyone knows about, or is it just something you've tapped into?
Not really. So bringing it to a physical level, splicing DNA.
Do you think they could splice DNA? The Germans were doing that, weren't they?
Splice the DNA from Elvis.
From Elvis?
Yeah.
Do you think he died, or because all
That's
these jokes
interesting,
about him?
that is.
Yeah.
The Elvis thing, did he die? That's interesting.
Because there's a lot of jokes about him being on the moon and working in the fish and chip shop. Again, we got a bit of fish.
And he was supposed to be in Kalamazoo. There were sightings of him in Kalamazoo in Michigan in the 80s, and he was supposed to have died in the 77.
Yeah. And the other thing that's just occurred to me is all these Elvis lookalikes, like you get impersonators, don't you, playing?
Yeah.
And it's almost like cloning in a way.
Yeah, they would. You would want Elvis's DNA, whether he's dead or alive.
You would?
Yeah, definitely.
So you've got a third of your DNA along with Donald Trump and Elvis.
Operation Blue Suede. Splice.
That's quite a good combination, isn't it?
Splice Elvis's DNA into Donald Trump and James Casbolt.
And what are you contributing to that, James? What's your kind of main part of that DNA?
Maybe channel the music.
Yeah.
And to see where all this goes next.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Anything else? Any operations going on that we need to know about?
The fish, Operation Blue Suede, all these products, Ultraman, MK Ultra, Ultra MK. That's about it, really, I think, for the moment.
Do you think that is a coincidence about that party? I mean, it's just must be, mustn't it? I mean, there's nothing like to do with MK Ultra, is it?
Well, the symbology is interesting. Right here, Ultra MK.
Mm. I mean, you could make a case for Milton Keynes as well, couldn't you, being MK Ultra?
Well, that's an important place, I think, for the future.
Milton Keynes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's where the Open University is based.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. Also, that's where there's lots of concrete cows in the field.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they have a field full of concrete cows, and I always thought that was a bit surreal. But then, of course, you talk about the cows in the hay down at Zena, didn't you?
Yeah.
In one of your songs.
Yeah, there's a big cow symbology with it.
Mm. Well, there's something about cows in the book, in the Escape from Tartarus. One of the chapters is about the significance of cows.
Talk about cows a lot. Because they're splicing cows, aren't they, into cow bones into people's jaws. And
Are they?
At the dentist, and you can take a lot of cow material to regenerate yourself.
Oh God, I might have a go at that. I drink raw milk. It's about as far as I go.
Yeah, I could sit here all day talking about the cow symbology. Maybe leave that for another time.
Okay, well, we can do that in a week or two's time.
Okay.
That's great. Okay, well, that's great, James. And I'm so glad your CD's out and your book is about to come out.
Yeah.
And just going to keep people updated on that. Okay. Be lucky.
Good to see you, Bob.
Yep.